Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Let's talk about Maxie for a minute and her plan and how stupid it is. Let me just tell you about her plan first of all. So she gets Britt to come over and she's like, you know what, listen, we're never going to be safe. So the best way to sit there and handle Peter is to fake the baby's death. Wait a couple weeks. Hopefully Peter's in jail. And then, we could just tell everyone and, everyone be happy and proud that I did the right thing to protect my child. First of all, this plan is incredibly dark. And it's just so stupid. It's so dumb. Because here, for many reasons, but the most obvious one, Peter's not going to hurt you as long as you are carrying his child. Now, the minute that you're not carrying his child, well, he's Peter, so pretty much kind of depends on, which way the wind blows. I mean, seriously, the only reason why you are alive and why he's not completely unhinged and probably didn't kill you at some point is because you're carrying his child. So that's just stupid, number one. To sit there and fake the child's death. Not just, I mean, here's the thing. Peter is a lot of things. Okay, but when she sits there and talked about how dangerous he is to the child, it's like, well, in what way? I mean, seriously, when you stop and think about it for a minute, yeah, Peter has done some really terrible things. Killed a lot of people. Hell, he didn't just kill Drew. He killed every single person that was on that plane. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure he has something to do with Holly's death. Which again, if that's the case, I don't remember. But if he did, he didn't just sit there and take out Holly. I know she's alive, and I guess they're gonna get to that story, and well, who knows? But he didn't just go after Holly. He went after other people as well. Like there's other people that's dead. So he's done a lot of terrible things, but he's not a child killer. You know? I mean, yeah, he'll be obsessive and he'll be constantly in their face or whatever, but like, he's not gonna like, he's not gonna kill Maxie or the baby. So when she talks about how she's in so much danger and stuff like that, it's like, but are you really? I mean, if anything, you're the most safest person to, in Peter's range as far as poor Charles is concerned. Um, Not to mention it's gonna totally screw over Britt because she fought like hell to get her license back, and you just want her to dump it all away to go on your little half-baked plan. Okay. And yeah, after some nudging, Britt agrees to do this plan, but she's pretty much like, yo, listen, you have to sit there and prepare for every possibility. And first of all, that whole we'll just go about a couple of weeks or whatever just is not gonna work. Like, you seriously need to have a plan. And because at first she was like, let's not pull a Nell Benson, but she's not Nell, so I don't even understand why she even would sit there and bring that up. Anyway, that's the plan for some odd reason, and again, I think it's just, well, stupid. I really do. So on the other side of town, you got Anna going over the final details with Carly about the plan. Carly runs out, and Robert is like, "So what are y'all doing?" Because y'all two got nothing in common. So what are y'all doing? Um, and Anna kind of spills the beans. It's like, listen, we're working the Valentine angle, and so pretty much the setup is, um, Gladys is at she's at the Metro Court eating or whatever, and Carly gets all in her face talking about, you're not gonna do my boy Jason dirty like that. Me and my team of lawyers gonna sit there and grind you to the dust, yada yada yada. Just going all at Gladys. Now at this point, Valentine's supposed to come in like the white knight that he is, comes in and, kind of like defends her. Now you got Peter on the other side of the room, and he's looking at this whole thing like, what's going on? And I feel like right then and there, I feel like Peter is gonna probably unravel whatever little plan that they got going on. Like Anna was talking to Robert, and basically like he has a lot of false confidence, and a lot of the stuff that he got away with was luck. But I'm like, it's not all luck though. Like, yeah, there's some circumstances that worked in his favor, but he was the brains behind that operation. And I feel like her just sitting there saying like he's not that good, she's underestimating him. I looked at Peter, and Peter looked like he just read that whole situation like, what is going on? Anyway, Valentine pretty much walks Gladys out to, work her for information, gain the trust and everything like that. And this is after Peter, by the way, I kind of missed this part. Peter was sitting there going at Valentine, playing the victim. You ruined my life, and Maxie's going to sit there and, Maxie's still going to forgive me, and we're still going to have a child together. There's nothing you can do, yada, yada, yada. The usual victim card. And this when Valentine's like, listen, you did this all to yourself. You need to turn yourself in to the cops to be a better father for some odd reason. I don't know why he said that. Like, that was going to happen. But, of course, Peter's bragging like, oh, well, they got nothing on me. You got nothing on me. The WSB got nothing on me. So I'm good. I'm untouchable pretty much. And he's walking around with that confidence because up until this point, he's, people can sit there and say what they want about Peter, but he earned that confidence by doing the stuff that he did. All the terrible stuff that he's done that. So he's earned that right to kind of boast a little bit. Okay, let's just be honest. And I don't remember exactly how this whole thing takes place. But anyway, Gladys follows Valentine out to Metro Court to go get drinks somewhere else. And, Peter has a conversation with Carly, like they're facing off. Now, I'm not going to lie, I kind of love this scene because they seem like they're going at each other's throats in the scene, which is amazing because, well, they're boyfriend and girlfriend in real life. So it's very interesting seeing how they're acting like they're going at each other's throats. But pretty much, Carly is like, listen, you keep printing all this bad stuff about Jason, and I'm going to go after your advertisers. The ones that are paying your bills and stuff like that. And, you got this whole lease thing coming up. So, imagine if there was no more sponsors. And at this point, Peter's like, yo, you sure you want to pick a fight with me? Because Jason's in jail, Sonny is in the ground. You don't really have anyone, to defend you at this point. And Carly more or less is like, yo, listen, I don't need anyone. I'm good. Like, I got you by myself pretty much. That's pretty much her whole attitude. So it isn't that they're staring daggers at each other, and the scene kind of ends, and that's pretty much where that ends off. Now, while Robert's not there talking to Anna, Robert's like, listen, whatever your plan is, just hurry up, because Maxie has her own plan, and, I think that's when Anna was like, listen, I don't remember who said what, but somebody was like, we gotta do this plan before Maxie either does a plan that's gonna blow up in her face and make Peter angry, or get herself hurt. I don't remember which one. Now let's talk about this sentence of Alexis, because she pleaded guilty, and Dante pretty much more or less just kind of just gave her a way out with his testimony, as far as yeah, she did something bad, but she was under the influence and this disease, and just have mercy on her pretty much. The judge comes back. Now somebody in the comment section did say that this person, she agreed with me as far as like her whole plea, like her whole, pleading guilty does no one any good. Like, it doesn't do her any good. It isn't going to help her out with sobriety. It's probably actually going to make it worse because, well, she'll be in jail at this point. Um, and just all sorts of other things that is not going to benefit her or anyone else in society by going to jail. So the judge comes back, and the judge is like, well, you are going to be in Paintville for 3 years. And everyone acts like shocked and surprised, and I'm like, seriously? Y'all, y'all really shocked about that? She pleaded guilty to trying to kill someone. Now, the judge was like, listen, we're going to erase the whole Franco thing, but Dante, yeah, you're still guilty. And everyone's shocked. And I'm like, girl, what? Why are y'all shocked for? It almost reminded me, to some extent, of when the judge sentenced Michael to 5 years in Pentonville. That was a shock. Like, that made everyone's jaws drop. Like, even the DA, I don't remember what her name is, even the DA was like, whoa, 5 years? Bro, you think that's a little kind of harsh? Like, but this wasn't nowhere like it. But it just reminded me of that scene. But yeah, she gets 3 years in jail, 2.5 years with good behavior, and, Molly is like, listen, that's the best thing that could have happened. And, Diane's like, that turned out really well. And Sam is like, she's still going to jail. So how is that actually a good thing? But Alexa's like, I got 7 more days and, we're going to kind of enjoy the time we have. I was like, okay, cool. Nancy, enjoy your vacation. Hell, the girl did earn it. Let's be honest. She's been on this show for a while. For a long time. She's been on this show longer than I've been watching it. And I've been watching it since 2001. And most people on some of these shows don't even do maybe 3 years. So the fact that she clocked in that much years is amazing. It's amazing. And I just want to sit there and just take the time to really sit there and really admire like the veterans that have been there for so long, because they know these characters inside and out. Like, she can probably go in there. She's one of those people that could just probably improv some of her lines. Kind of like Monica. I feel like Monica's another person who's been there so long that she can just improv her lines. Now Ned, on the other hand, I don't know how this guy does it. That dude is a rock star, okay? Because he does this show, he does Days, and I'm pretty sure he does music. So, man, is that guy busy. But yeah, she's going to be sentenced to 2.5 years for good behavior. And so, that ends that. Now let's talk about, Curtis. Everyone's favorite character at this point. So Curtis comes in, he comes in Jordan's, he comes in the loft or whatever, where they live at. And he sees Tagger, he's like, oh, you're here. What's that about? I see this dude just sitting here, just drinking my beer up and just kind of just chilling, just making stuff at home. And, there was one point where Tagger was like, oh, you know what? Looks like it's going to be a little heated. Let me just go in my room. And his reaction was funny, but it was also like, bro, you have no room to talk. His reaction was like, I'm sorry, your room. What's going on? And that's when Jordan's like, well, they weren't going to give him bail, so I had to sit there and kind of more or less offer myself up as collateral. Take responsibility for him. And he has some sort of like the looks on his face, the tone in his voice is like, are you jealous? Because that almost sounded like jealousy. Now, before you came in here, you were rushing to her place or whatever to try to work something out. Spoiler alerts, he doesn't work anything out. He did exactly... I want to sit there and say he did exactly what I said he was going to do, and I want to sit there. I really want to take credit for this, but let's be honest. anyone who's watching this review thought the same thing. Hell, anyone who's not watching this review, who is just a fan of this show, thought the same thing. That he was going to come there, he was going to see Taggart there, get jealous, and use that as an excuse to not work things out with his marriage. And that's exactly what he did. There's one point where, he looks at the police files or whatever. And Taggart's like, yo, listen, we need all the help we can to sit there and take down Cyrus. Like, he's a bad guy. He needs to be stopped. You want in? And Kurt is like, nah, I'm good. I'm not about that life anymore. Okay, no one's sitting there asking you to, like, join the force or anything like that, but, I mean, he's everyone's problem. On top of that, isn't TJ his nephew? The guy who got kidnapped by Cyrus? And they give you an opportunity to sit there and help. Take the guy down who kidnapped your nephew, who threatened your grandmother. I think that's your aunt. And you're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm not about that life. What does that even mean at this point? Like, seriously, what does that even mean at this point? And then he talks about he's going to be doing a nightclub and stuff like that. And, when Taggart, makes himself scarce or whatever, Jordan's like, listen, you came all the way to talk, because he was going to leave twice. And, this is when Taggart thanked him for being a good guy to his daughter. And Jordan's like, listen, you came here for a reason. What did you come here for? Like, you want to sit there and talk? Like, you want to go somewhere? And, Kurt's like, nah, I'm good. Good job or something like that. I forgot what throwaway line he said, because, let's be honest, I kind of checked out halfway through when he just seemed like he was so disinterested in trying to fix or, at least try to meet her halfway as far as, working out the relationship. And he just kind of walked off. And, Taggart's like, like, Jordan, are you okay? And I'm like, bro, look at her face. Does she look like she's okay? Seriously, if you have to sit there and ask anyone who has a look like that, are you okay? Why? What answer do you want them to give you? Because if they give you no, then you're just like, it's cool. Alright, I was just checking. Like, come on, bro. I didn't even understand that line. And it's just, okay. And I think the last scene is pretty much Valentine, trying to get Gladys to trust him. And so they go to, another place or whatever to get more drinks or whatever. And, I'm like, bro, how many drinks did you have? I think he only had one, so I think he's good. But, anyway, Gladys starts opening up, and she talks about how, she's doing her civic duty, and, she's putting Jason away, and she's not afraid of Jason because, Brando's going to sit there and protect her and everything like that. And then she says something. She talks about Cyrus, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to sit there and do, like, I know it's good for me or whatever. And Valentine was like, well, what does that mean? What do you mean you know it's good for you? Like, he didn't say that, but he was like, what does that mean? And that's when Gladys was like, oh, well, he's just been so good to me and stuff like that. So I feel like, his plan, well, their plan is starting to work a little bit. The only thing that's the only problem I see is Peter. Because I feel like people underestimate how smart and clever Peter is. Like, he didn't do all that stuff. He didn't manage. He's not at the position that he's at just because of luck. And when I saw the way he was reading that situation, he knew there was something that was just kind of off. And I feel like there's only going to be a matter of time before Peter winds up blowing up their whole plan. Let me just double check something. Yep, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section below. I want to thank everyone for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below about this episode. Be safe. I will catch you in the next video.